or you're new to an upgrade and you want to use SmartSuite. Okay, the first thing is you need to know your URL for your system. Okay, and your URL will be your schoolname.functionalsolution.com.au. If you do not have that, you do need to contact Functional Solutions so that we can help you out, identify who you are, and set you up. It's very straightforward and very, very simple. Okay, now when you're running SmartSuite, okay, you need to be logged in, and so you'll put your URL into your browser. What browser can you use? Any browser. Doesn't matter what browser it is, as long as it's a current browser. The browser must be current. I personally recommend Chrome, Google Chrome. Okay, if you load and run Google Chrome, you won't have any issues. If you're running any of the other browsers, you just have to make sure it's up to date. You have to make sure that IT haven't blocked pop-ups and haven't blocked this and haven't blocked that and haven't put filters in. Usually Chrome is fairly straightforward. It works. Okay. Once you've put it in, you've got your sign in up here. You cannot use somebody else's sign in. Okay. How many users can log on at any one time? Unlimited. Very specifically, unlimited. Okay. So if you've got 2 people in the library, you've got 22 people in the library, or 2,000 people in the library, and each and every one of them can all log on and all be doing the same thing, or all be doing different things, and some duplicating what you're doing. Not an issue. So the only issue is 1 user login per person, and don't share it with anyone else. It's like your bank account. Okay, you wouldn't give your bank account and PIN number to anyone else. Same with SmartSuite. Okay, you go log in. So if you've got another person that needs to do something, you need to contact us and we can create a user for them, or you can create a user yourself. That's not going to be the subject of this training session. It's just to get you up and running. So when you go in, that's your search screen. Okay, what appears up here is going to be, so it says simple maths tricks. That was the last record that was put into the system. In other words, the most current. If you added 3 records, they'll shuffle down 3. You added 23 records, they'll shuffle down 23. You put 1 in, it'll move across 1. Okay, searching, fairly straightforward. You don't have to touch any buttons, do anything. You just put in the word or phrases you want, and it will automatically do a smart search. Okay, but you can say, no, I want to only search for title. So you can click on title and put any word from the title and then do a search. And that'll bring up all the books that have cat in the title or cat in the subject. Okay, or cat in the author. You got an author called Cat, and cat in the series. Okay, but you don't need no results found. You don't need to tick any of that. By default, it's on SmartSuite, and it will go and find every resource that has cat and then bring it up in a weighted order. Not a problem, straightforward. Okay, if you want to have a look at what's available, it gives you the title, the holdings, the location, the sublocation, the call number. You click on record availability, okay, and it will bring up all your information in here other than just the bibliographic information. Okay, so you can go ahead and you can bring up anything about any book in the system here. Just by clicking on the books, we'll go across and bring up all the bibliographic information. Okay, so it's very easy, not a problem. So all you need to do is just click along there. If you're looking at the availability, it's 7 of 9, and you go, all right, well, what's on loan? And anyone on loan will appear here. Any books that are reserved will show there, or you can just go show all the information here, and off you go. Okay, so before you start using the system, you need to understand that in SmartSuite, the data is classified into 2 areas: the patron related data and the book related data. And so they're 2 separate sections, but they all come together in SmartSuite. So when we're talking about patron related data, we're talking about the year level, the homeroom, the borrowing parameters, all that kind of information. And before you use the system the first time, you need to click on menu, you need to go down to configuration, and you need to go down to the authority editor. This is where all the authority files are, but we're only going to deal with the authority files in relation to patron records. So we're interested in the class grade level, year levels. In there, you put in your class grade and plus, and it will create a class grade here. Okay. However, you then need to make sure that, all right, I've created the year 7 or I've created the year 12. Now what? Click on the pencil and that will show you all their parameters. In other words, we're talking about from a security level, what security books they can borrow. So what that 12 means that if you classify a book as senior fiction and you make it a security of 12, you need to be a year 12 and above to be able to access it. If you classified it as a year 10, okay, so that was a year 10, then your security level will be a year 10. That means you need to be at least a year 10 and above to be able to have access to that book. Straightforward. Now, final borrowing date. The final borrowing date is the date that you want all the books back in the library. So work out when your library is closed and then go and put in the date in the system that I want all these books back by this date. That's it. The expiry date is basically not used by anybody generally. Okay, so my recommendation is figure out when you're going to leave, add 40 years to that and make that your expiry date. And that's the end of it. Where the expiry date comes in very handy is when you're talking about year 12s and you know that your year 12s are not coming back. So you'll say, I want all the year 12s to expire on the 4th of August because I know that their last day at school is the 5th of August, and if I borrow any books to them, they're not bringing it back. So just you might want to expire them before, and every time a year 12 comes to borrow, and it's near the 4th of August, it'll tell you he's expired, don't give him a book, he's not coming back. That's what that is for. Okay. How many books can they borrow? That's the loan limit. They can borrow 5 books. And how long can they borrow it for? 14 days. Are you going to allow them to renew their loans from home or by themselves on a workstation even in the class? Yes, I will allow them to renew. In that case, then you'll just say I'm allowing them to renew a book once. Once they've renewed it once and they've actually lost it, so they think they're going to just keep renew, it won't work because they can only renew it once. After that, it'll say, no, you've already renewed that once before. You need to go and take the book to the library staff. And of course, the library staff can override and renew it as often as the library staff want to do it. Okay, the renewal period. If they renewed it, how long can they have it for? 14 days. That's what that's for. The next one is reserve limit. Can they reserve from home? Yes. We don't want them reserving everything. So we said they can only reserve 1 book or they can reserve 5 books. After that, they'll just get an error message that says you've exceeded your reserve. You need to make sure that you delete some of the items you've already reserved. Okay? And then that will allow them to add another item. Multiple copies. Generally, that's not ticked on because we don't want kids borrowing a book, leaving it at home, and then borrowing another copy of the book. So what will happen is if they try to do that, it'll say, no, this child already has this book. Okay. But multiple copies for teachers might want to put 20 books all the same into a box and take it to class. So you need to put that on. If it was a teacher, it was a class grade of staff. Okay. Now, you might turn around and say, well, actually, the loan period is 365 days because this is a teachers group. It's not year 12. It's teachers. Okay. So what you'll say, teachers can have multiple copies and see how the loan period is 365 days. So they come to borrow an overnight item. Okay, it's flagged as overnight in the catalog, or it's flagged as 14 days in the catalog, or flagged as a term loan in the catalog. But you go, no, teachers can borrow anything for 365. So if you want the loan period of the teacher to exceed what is on the book, you say, I want the patron's loan limit to override the book loan limit. That's what that is. Okay, now you need to do that for every year level. Otherwise, you're going to have circulation problems. You're going to have errors saying he's exceeded his loan limit. Oh, he cannot borrow any books. Or he's expired. So if you come back in the new year and you try to go and borrow books to a year 12 person, and you've got their final borrowing date that's due back last year, or you've got the expiry date and they've expired last year, that's the error you're going to get. They expired last year. So you need to remember, if you get that message, come in here into the class grade area and change the date to 2021 for next year. Okay, that's all you need to do. The next one for patrons is the homerooms. Okay, so you go in here and you'll just put in all the homeroom plus, homeroom plus, homeroom plus. That's it. You don't have to do anything else. Why do we use the homeroom? In case you want to do an overdue, not for all the year 12s, but all the 12 15s or the 12 Cs or the 12 Fs or the 12 Ds. Okay, so that's a way of not just getting all the year 12, but of getting specific grouping within the year 12. That's what the homeroom is for. Used by 70% of the schools on our system. Okay, once you've done that, you're then ready to add a patron. How do we add patrons? Easy, really easy. Click on menu, click on patron, and then click on patron management, and it will bring up the patron screen. There it is. Okay, and you can go and find someone. So find Scott, SCO. You don't even have to type the whole word in, and all the Scots will come up, and you go, Jack Scott, that's the one I want. And he's not in year 12, unfortunately. That's wrong. He's actually year 11. Okay, and he's not in the 7Ds. He's in the 11. So let's go and find the 11. He's in 11F. And then you just go save. And that's how you do it. It's as simple, and you can change any parameter in there. You can even put his email address in there, so you can then send him overdues by email if you wanted to. You want to put a new patron in? Just go new. Okay, give him a barcode. Give him a username. Oh, not necessary. So Mike, and surname is Mike James, and he's in year 10, and his homeroom is 10B, and he's a student. No, he's not a student. He's actually a teacher. So just click on the role and go down here and go, oh, he's a teacher. Okay, or he's a circulation desk operator, or he's a library staff member. So you put in whatever parameter you want in there, and then you just go save. Okay, if you want to give him a password, click change password, put in a password, confirm the password there, and go change password, and that'll be his password. My recommendation, make everybody's password the same. Keep it simple, call it password, and then go here, and so change the password on next login. So you go, all right, Mike, you're on the system, your password is James. When you log in, it's going to ask you for a new password. Create whatever password you want. We don't want to know about it, and you're on your own. You're up and running, and you can go and now search and reserve and renew. Okay, that's all there is. However, you say, can I import patrons? Absolutely. Click on the menu, go back down to patrons, and go Smart Patron Import. You go to Smart Patron Import, and that's a whole new module. Okay. The beauty about SmartSuite Library is we will never charge you for a feature or function or an upgrade. We haven't done it for 30 years, and we're not going to do it in the future. So everything is included, and you choose your level of engagement. So I'm going to do a patron import. It's a comma delimited file. If not, tell us it's a tab delimited file. It's got a header at the top, and then you just go upload. And when you choose upload, it'll bring up the file, and you can choose where your file is, and that's the one that I want. Okay, so I want to import these students. And when you do, it'll try and work out what the fields are. The red ones is what you want to address, because it says, I don't know what this is, tell me what this is. And you can say, oh, that's first name. Now, and actually this one is surname. Okay, so you just go down there, try and find it, and you go, that's the surname. And once you do that, then you'll go, okay, that's done. So you cannot import if there is a red field in there. Okay, so, but you can leave some fields red if they're not important fields. So what fields are important? We need the external ID and or the barcode. So this is the admin number, but it's also the barcode. So you can flag a field as having two bits of information. It's the barcode field and it's the external ID field. Surname, first name. Now you need barcode, you need first name, surname, you need their homeroom and classification, and you can actually forget about the rest. You don't need to worry about that. You can go next step, okay, and it'll tell you all about the information of what you need to do, and you can go, yeah, forget about all those fields, I'm just going to continue. So you go continue, and it will show you what the data is going to be, and there it goes. If that user already existed, it will show you what his record currently is above it, and what the new data will be. If you're happy with that, you can go perform the changes to the database. And what will happen is the system will send you a security code. You cannot go continue or confirm. You need the security code. And to get it, you go to your mailbox, okay? And what you do is you right click and you say, open the link in a new window. Now the reason for that is because if you get off this page, you have to start all over again. So let's go here. We go right click, we go open the link in a new window, and it'll open it up for me, and it'll load up the mailbox. And in the mailbox, so let's go into support tickets, okay, and or system tickets, okay, and in the system ticket, it'll give you the security code. So you just highlight that security code from the ticket, right click and go copy. Okay, we'll exit out of that screen, back to the other screen, in here, and we go paste. And now if I go confirm, okay, this import cannot be done, are you sure? And if I went okay, it'll import all my patrons into the system. Simple, really easy, really quick. If you're going to do this and you're not sure, you're nervous, give us a call and tell us, I'm going to do a patron import. Can you please back my system up and let me know when you've done it? Just in case I stuff up, then I can ask you to restore it to where it was before I did it. Easy to do. We're there to help. Okay, and you can ask us for help on anything, anytime, no extra cost. Just like support, no extra cost. Just like upgrades, no extra cost. Just like new functionality, no extra cost. Okay, that's SmartSuite for you. Okay, so we've done with all the patron data and how to add, change patron, delete patrons, whatever. Now we're going to go and create a catalog record. However, to be able to catalog, just like patrons, we had some fundamental authority files we needed to update or create, exactly the same. So we'll go down to configuration, go down to the authority file editor, and here are the mandatory things that you need to do before you can catalog. So you need to go in here, okay, and you need to go down to the loan type, okay. So put in a name for loan type, like quarterly loan. Once you put it in, you then need to click on the pencil and tell it that a quarterly loan is actually 45 days and the final borrowing date is the end of December, okay, and then you save it. And if you want to change an existing one, just click the pencil and go, no, that is actually 21st because we're preparing for the new year. Again, a monthly loan's 31st, but final borrowing date is there. And then you just go save, and then just exit out. That's it. So you need to go, so if you're going to have weekly loans, monthly loans, fortnightly loans, daily loans, junior class loans, senior class loans, teachers only loans, any kind of loan limit, you need to be able to have it in this list, because when you catalog, it'll ask you what loan type is it. This is the list it's going to present. So you need to do the loan types, and you need to also do the renewal types. Exactly the same. Exactly the same. Okay. So we've done the loan types and we've done the renewal types. Now, so if you want to have a look at some of these other things, you don't need to put them in here, but this is all the authority entries for the entire system. Okay. Now that you've done that, to be able to catalog, you also need to tell the system what your SKIS username and password is. Okay. So before you start, you need to do that. Very simple. Menu, you go down to catalog, and we go down to global catalog. It's SKIS cataloging, but we call it global catalog because we can import not just from SKIS, but from a whole host of other areas. Okay, but we'll go in here to set the SKIS username. So when you go in here, it will ask you for the SKIS username, the ISBN number of the book. You go, no, I haven't put it in the username, so I need to do that. So you go down to configuration, and on there is a little up arrow. Click on that. Z3950 databases, which is what SKIS is, industry standard. You click on it, and you should have SKIS up there. You should have 210 down here. You should have z3950.skisdata.com, just like that. You need to have database name as Voyager, and in here you'll put your SKIS username and your SKIS password. okay, your Z3950 username and your Z3950 password. And then you need to click save if it's the first time. If it's already there and you've changed the username or changed the password, you need to click update. Once you do that, that's all there is to it. The next thing you need to do is come down here and default spine labels. Click on default spine labels and you can put in a whole bunch of spine labels. Okay, now the thing is, if you've got some spine labels and you've got about 20 pages, 30 pages, 50 pages, I'm going to tell you something that you're going to cringe. My recommendation is throw them in the bin and choose one from our list. Okay, it's going to cost you $50 more, but the saving in time and frustration lining up a spine label and trying to get it to work is all out the window. It's gone if you choose one of our spine labels. Okay, so my recommendation, 12603, can be bought from any spine label supplier, and you'll have a look and see what it does, and then you just click save, and that's all there is to it. Once you do that, then you're ready to catalog. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to catalog one new book. Just one. Not a SKIS catalog, one new book. So you go to menu, you go to catalog, and then catalog. Okay, now it will always bring up the last book you worked on. Okay, that's the book that I was working on. However, let me go to another book and grab that ISBN number. Control C to copy that. Okay, now let me start again. So I've got an ISBN number, so I go catalog, and it says changes will not be saved, and that's fine. I don't want to save anything. So load up the catalog screen, so I'll come back to a book. Now, if you want to catalog a new item, just go new, and you type in your information. So my cat book, that's the name of my title. My ISBN number, if I've got one, I can put it in there. My cat book CD, that's what it is. It's a CD, it's not a book. So call number, I can put in edition 2020 collation. It's 1 CD. Okay. Security code, can any student borrow it? No, you have to be a year 9 student or above to be able to borrow it. Okay, media type, well, it is actually a CD-ROM. Okay, or you can go in here and you go, it is free CD. That's what I'm going to call it. So if it doesn't exist in the list of media types, says, you want to create it? I go, yeah. So that's what the media type is now. Now, genre. What's a genre? No, not there. Author. Is the author? Yeah, the author is Scott James. And it says, oh, Scott James doesn't exist. Create him. Then I can go to subject, and the subject is music. And it says, music doesn't exist. All right, create it. Next one is, and we go, it's muffins. It's about muffins. And it's, and we go multiculturalism. So you can add stuff on the top, or you can go online CD. And it says online CD doesn't exist. Well, create it. And you can go ahead and you can put anything along here just like that. If it doesn't exist, it'll tell you just add it. Go into the notes, you can type everything from till the cows come home, including the entire Encyclopedia Britannica. So if you got a PDF version of that, why not paste in there? And every word and phrase that you put in will become searchable. Okay, so once you've done all of that, there's your save button. You go, oh, but I forgot to put in the barcode. Oh, that's no problem. So you just go into copy. That's where all the barcodes are held. So you go in here, zap in the barcode, and then tell us the copy status. It's available, and the location is in the A2 staff room. Sublocation is not applicable. The loan type, remember we created that. It's a fortnightly loan. Renewal type, it's fortnightly. And save it, and that's all there is to it. You say, yeah, but I want to put in the cost. Oh, okay, so you expand that barcode. Expand that, and you can go in there and you can put in the cost center. You can put in the cost. You can put in the replacement cost. Okay, if it's an asset, you can click on assets and then put in all the information about that asset as well in there as well. Okay, and then all you do is you just go save and you just catalog your first book. It's as simple as that. But you go, but I don't like it in this order. I want to put the sub basic, then the author, then the subjects. Oh, okay, so you just click on the cog, okay, and then you move the genre to that side of the author. You move the subject to the other side up here. Okay, move the genre to the other side of the author, and we'll move the subject to here. And if you like that order, then all you do is you go to the end, and that cog has become a disk. So save it, and there it is. You got basic, author, subject, and additional title, and then this. Okay, you reorganize that whatever way you want. Okay, now let's go back into my basic area, and there's my first cat CD. I've done it. I've got a new book, so I just go new. I can manually type it all in, or I can click on the ISBN number field, right click and go paste. There's my ISBN number, or I can just wand it in and then hit that button after you wand it, and it'll go to SKIS. And if it exists, because remember we put our SKIS username in, if it exists, it'll say imported from SKIS. Go, oh, there it is. Subjects, there's all the subjects. Additional title, yeah, there it is. Genre, no genre. Illustrator, no illustrator. Series, no series. Notes, no notes. And then we go publisher, yep, that's the publisher. And then just go to copy and go, I'm going to add another barcode. So here's my barcode. Okay, go to my copy status, it's available. Location is A2 staff room. Sublocation is not applicable. Loan type, it's monthly loan. Renewal type, it's no renewal for that item. And then just go save. So that media can't be blank. So if you don't put in a piece of information that the system must have, it'll tell you media can't be blank. Go back to the basic and go, oh, there's the media. All right, so that is a book. Okay, it exists there. So book. Now I'll go save, and that's all there is to it. Okay. Now what about if I've got 30 books or 60 books? Well, that's even easier. You just click on menu, you go down to catalog, but we don't do one at a time. We do SKIS cataloging or global cataloging. When you go to global catalog, okay, you can, so if you've got 30 books, put the fiction books together, the non-fiction books together, the teacher's reference together, and then you put all the holding information about each group. So if I'm talking about fiction, I'll say the location is fiction, okay, the sublocation is whatever, the loan periods renew, okay, so sublocation is not applicable, the loan period is fortnightly, the renewal period is no loans, no renewals, copy status available, the price, you can put all that in, and then you just zap in the barcode, okay, and then zap in the ISBN, zap in the barcode, then zap in the ISBN number again, and then zap in the barcode, and then zap in the ISBN number again, and zap in the barcode, and then zap in the ISBN number again, then zap in the barcode. And if it doesn't exist on SKIS, you'll just get an error message to say, I went and looked for that ISBN number, but it didn't exist, not found. Just pull it out, put it aside, come back to it in a couple of days later, or manually catalog it. But once you've finished, remember we chose the spine label that we're going to use, so just go print the spine labels, please. So you go in here, and the spine labels will print out. But you can go, no, I've already used that sheet. So I want you to leave 32 blank labels and go generate. So what the system will do is it will go and start printing from label 32 onwards. And that's all there is to creating a catalog record. Okay, very simple, very straightforward. Okay, and there it is, starting from 32 onwards. Okay, now what you can do is you can say, all right, now that I've got that on there, I've learned how to add a patron, catalog a book, SKIS catalog a book. How do I circulate? Menu and circulation. And when you go into circulation, it's a piece of cake. So if you want to return books, you just click on return. So by default, it's always on loan. You click on return and you just go zap in the barcode of the book. If there's issues with it, it'll tell you, and you just go, okay, I'm going to check that in. This one, and say, tell you this is the issue. Check that in. Check this one in. Okay, and check the next one in. You can turn off all those error messages, by the way, but you might want to be told about that. It can't find that particular one. That's no problem. So let's have a look at this one. Okay, and that's it. If you want a loan, you just go ahead and click on loans and type in Smith and choose the Smith, or type, and that's, you know, Mary Smith. So you can type in SM and it'll give you all the SMs, or you can type in MIKE, Mike, and it'll bring up all the mics. Okay, and you can go MI and it'll bring up all the MIs. Okay, and if a person comes up and his book is overdue, it'll be in red. And if you want to renew it, just put a tick in there and then go renew. Click return. If you want to return it, you can click return. But let's go and check out a book to this person, and we're going to make it overdue. Okay, so here I've just checked out all these books, all right, but I'm going to make that one overdue. So I will put a date in here of some time prior to today, and if I go renew, it will go and renew it to that date. If I want to renew all of these books, I can click that and say I want to renew all of these books to this particular date, and then when I go renew, it'll renew it to whatever date you put in there. If I don't put a date in there but put a tick in all of that, and then I just click renew, remember the renewal parameters we set up? So whatever the renewal parameters for this particular group of students, it will renew it for that day, that number of days. If I want to return books, just click return, and that's it. Okay. If I want to go ahead now and produce a list of overdues, menu, reports. Okay, and reports are divided into a whole bunch of categories. Reports created by Functional Solutions and reports created by you as a user. So if you take any of these reports and alter them for your personal requirement, they'll appear on the bottom. So if I want to do an overdue, I just click on overdues. Overdues by class grade, homeroom, locate. I'll go class grade. Okay, just click on that. And I want class grade equal to 12. That's it. And now I can go generate, and it'll bring me up all the overdues for my year 12s. There they all are. Okay. There's a whole bunch of other stuff that you can do on, but you can go ahead and you can experiment. I want for year 12s and year 10s and year 11s and year 7s. Those ones. Now I just go generate, and it's going to do me an overdue list for my year 11s, for my year 12s, and so forth and so on. If you want to print them, just go print. And that's how you print it. Thank you very much for being a new user, for giving us the ability to be your provider. Now remember, we don't charge for upgrades, we don't charge for modules, we don't charge for training. So if you want to be trained on just stock take or just renewals or just overdues, you can ask for help on anything, anytime, and we'll organize it with you. And what we will do is we will organize at a date and time that's convenient for you and for us. And if you want help, you just click on the menu, you click on the mailbox, okay, and then from the mailbox you'll go, I want to create a ticket, and I want training on catalog, please. And my name is Joanna, this is my number, call me anytime after 6 o'clock in the evening, or call me between 11 and 12 in the afternoon, and then you hit that rocket, and we will respond accordingly, and we'll help you out. Thank you very much for giving us this opportunity to present.